Warning: the following recording contains references to self-harm and sexual abuse. If these things trigger you, please do not listen any further. On today's episode of My Immortal, will Ebony and Harry succeed in rescuing Draco? And if they do, what will the repercussions of their success be? And will A Song of Ice and Fire fans finally get off of George R.R. Martin's ass so he can finally finish the 6th book? 2 out of 3 of these questions will be answered on today's episode of My Immortal. Chapter 13. Author's note. Raven, thanks for gulping me again. I'm sorry I talk poster of Gerard, but that guy is such a fucking sex bomb. Perhaps stop flaminging. Vampire and I ran up the stairs looking for Dumbledore. We were so scared. Dumbledore! Dumbledore! We both yelled. Dumbledore came there. What is it you want now, you despicable snobs? He asked angrily. Voldemort has Draco! We shouted at the same time. He laughed in an evil voice. Ha 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 ha! That was my evil voice, whatever. No, don't! We need to save Draco! We begged. No! He said meanly. I don't give a darn what Voldemort does to Draco. Not after how much he misbehaved in school, especially with you, Ebony, he said while he frowned looking at me. Besides, I never liked him that much anyway. Then he walked away. Vampire started crying. My Draco! He moaned. Author's note. Don't you thick gay guys lick so hot? It's okay, I tried to tell him, but that didn't stop him. He started to cry tears of blood. Then he had a brainstorm. I had an idea, he exclaimed. What? I asked him. You'll see, he said. He took out his wand and did a spell. Then, suddenly, we were in Voldemort's lair. We ran in with our wands out, just as we heard a croon voice say, Alla Cadavra. It was Voldemort. Okay. 5 problems. It was a relatively short chapter. 1. Dumbledore would never call students despicable snobs. In fact, his whole thing is help will always be given to those at Hogwarts who ask for it. Like, he wouldn't chew out students for asking him for help. That's one of the reasons he's an awesome leader. 2. You said Draco committed suicide. Again, what the actual fuck? 3. Dumbledore cares about all of his students. He'd never just leave one of them to die. But fuck it. Tara hates teachers, so she needs to absolutely twist somebody else's work to express herself rather than just making her own. 4. Stop fetishizing gay men, you freaking weirdo. 5. It's Avada Kedavra, not Alla Cadavra. I think this points to evidence of this being a troll, because Tara would have had to have been watching the news in 2006 in order to have mixed up Avada Kedavra with Allahu Akbar, which I think is what happened here if this isn't a troll. And Tara doesn't seem like the kind of person who would watch the news, or just study world religions for that matter. However, this does seem like the kind of joke a troll would make, which has me leaning slightly more towards this being a troll. Like, that's the theory I'm leaning more towards. Oh boy. Alla Cadavra. That's something special right there. Chapter
14. Author's note. Fuck off, preps, okay? Raven Fangs for helping Edgin. I'm sorry I couldn't update, but I was depressed. I had to go to the hospital 'cause slit my wrists. Oh, Jesus Christ. I really hope this person didn't actually do that. My God. P.S. I'm not updating till you give me 10 God reviews. Warning. Some of this chapter is extremely scray. Our excretion. Our excretion advised. We ran to where Voldemort was. It turned out that Voldemort wasn't there. Instead, the fat guy who killed Cedric was. Draco was there crying tears of blood. Snaketail was torturing him. Vampire and I ran in front of Snaketail. "Rid my sight, you despicable preps!" he shouted as we started shooting him with the gun. Then suddenly he looked at me and fell down with a lovey-dovey look in his eyes. "Ebony, I love you. Will you have sex with me?" he said. In this, he is 16 years old, so he's not a pedophile, okay? Huh? I asked. "And Abby, I love you. Will you have sex with me?" asked Snaketail. I started laughing crudely. What the fuck? You torture my boyfriend and then you expect me to fuck you? God, you are so fucked up, you fucking bastard, I said angrily. Then I stabbed him in the heart. Blood poured out of it like a fountain. "No!" he screamed. He started screaming and running around. Then he fell down and died. I burst into tears, sadly. "Snaketail, what art thou doing?" called Voldemort. Then he started coming. We could hear his high heels clacking to us. So we got on our broomsticks and we flew to Hogwarts. We went to my room. Vampire went away. There I started crying. "What's wrong, honey?" asked Draco, taking off his clothes so we could screw. He had a sex-pack. Get it? 'Cause he's so sexy. And a really huge you-know-what and everything. "It's so unfair," I yielded. "Why can't I just be ugly or plain like all the other girls and preps here except for Bloody Mary because she's not ugly or anything?" "Why would you want to be ugly? I don't like the preps anyway. They are such fucking sluts," answered Draco. "Yeah, but everyone is in love with me. Like, Snape and Lupin took a video of me naked. Hagrid says he's in love with me. Vampire likes me, and now even Snaketail is in love with me." But you just killed him. "I just want to be with you, okay, Draco? Why couldn't Satan have made me less beautiful?" I shouted angrily. Author's note. Don't worry, Inabi isn't a snob or anything, but a lot of people have told her she's pretty. I'm good at too many things. Why can't I just be normal? It's a fucking curse, I shouted, and then I ran away. Okay, for chapter 14, I had 9 notes. 1. In the last chapter you said Voldemort was standing in front of you. Now Wormtail is? 2. It's Wormtail, not Snaketail. 3. Wormtail is 39, not 16. What is it with you and wanting to make every Harry Potter character a goth teenager? 4. Oh yes, that's let's address the way that Wormtail spoke to Ebony, just walking up to her and saying, "Ebony, I love you. Will you have sex with me?" Fun fact, that's actually how I got my first girlfriend. I just walked up to her and said, "I love you. Will you have sex with me?" No, that's not how it happened. We just started talking at Freddy's one day, and anyway, my point is, don't take dating advice from this fan fiction. You'll regret it. 5. Why is Voldemort wearing high heels? What the hell is happening? 6. You were carrying your brooms the whole time? That sounds inconvenient. 7. Draco would never call somebody honey. 8. Ebony shows that she's the embodiment of a Mary Sue. So the next time you hear some Gen X Star Wars fans bitching about Rey, make them read this. Because this is a Mary Sue. 9. Draco calls the prep sluts, despite him and Ebony being extremely sexually active. Don't throw stones in glass houses, you prudish hypocrite. And that's going to do it for Chapter 14. We only have one more chapter to cover today. Yay! I think this episode's going to be a lot shorter than yesterday's, so. Chapter 15. Author's note. Stop flamming, okay? By the way, you suck. From now on, ever Tim someone flams me, I'm gonna slit my wrists. Thanks to Raven for helping. You know, if this was written by someone to be taken seriously, I genuinely hope that person is okay. Because at the time that they wrote this, they seemed to be having really intense mental issues, and whoever wrote this, I just hope that you're okay. Alright, let's continue. Ebony! Ebony! Shouted Draco sadly. No! Please, come back! But I was too mad. Whatever! Now you can go and have sex with Vampire! I shouted. I stormed into my room and closed my black door with my blood-red key. It had a picture of Marilyn Manson on it. He looked so sexy in a way that reminded me of Draco and Vampire. Marilyn Manson isn't sexy at all. I started to cry and weep. I took a razor and started to slit my wrist. Take a shot. I drank the blood, all depressed. Then I looked at my black Good Charlotte watch and noticed it was time to go to biology class. I put on a short-ripped black gothic dress that said Anarchy on the front in blood-red letters and was all ripped in a spiky belt. Under that, I put on ripped black fishnets and boots that said Joel all over them with blood-red letters. I put my ebony hair out. Anyway, I was downstairs feeling all sad and depressed as usual. I did some advanced biology work. I was turning a bloody pentagram into a black guitar. Suddenly, the guitar turned into Draco. Okay. Nobby, I love you, he shouted sadly. I do not care what those fucker preps and posers think, or the most beautiful girl in the world. Before I met you, I used to want to commit suicide all the time. Now I just want to fucking be with you. I fucking love you. Then he started to sing The Chronicles of Life and Death. We considered it our song now because we fell in love when Joel was singing it. Right in front of the entire class. His singing voice was so amazing and gothic and sexy, like a cross between Gerard, Joel, Chester, Pierre, and Marilyn Manson. Author's note, don't you think those guys are so hot? If you do not know who they are, get the fuck out of here. Oh my fucking god, I said after he was finished. Some fucking prep stared at us, but I just stuck up my middle fingers that were covered in black nail polish and were entwined with Draco's now, at them. I love you, I said, and then we started to kiss, just like Hilary Duff. Ah, fucking hate that bitch. And CMM in a Cinderella story. Then we went away, holding hands. Lupin shouted at us, but he stopped 'cause everyone was clapping by how sexy we looked together. This is the OG and then everyone clapped post. Then I saw a poster saying that MCR would have a concert in Hogsmeade right then. We looked at each other all shocked, and then we went together. Alright. For chapter 15, I have 7 notes. Firstly, you worked this hard to save Draco, and now you're just telling him to go and have sex with Vampire. I mean Harry. Fuck! This is rubbing off on me. What the hell? 2. Hogwarts doesn't teach biology. It's a wizarding school, not a damn high school. Stop trying to turn this childhood classic into a twisted Disney Channel high school show. Ugh. This thing is messing with my improvisation skills. 3. Ebony is wearing an anarchy shirt. Nestor Makhno is spinning in his grave. Although, guys, what if Ebony is the CEO of AntiFa? 4. Wait, your drawing of a guitar turned into Draco? What the hell? 5. You used cross again. Just saying. 6. You said earlier that Lupin was going to St. Mungo's because he was a pedophile. Why is he still at the school? What is this, Hogwarts or the Ohio State wrestling team? Who's running this school, Albus Dumbledore or Jim Jordan? 7. Again, why is a Muggle band like MCR playing in an all-wizard village? Same point I made in episode 1. Well, guys, that's gonna do it for me today. Gonna try and get this out on the 17th. Hopefully I'm able to. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed watching me torture myself, please leave a like and a comment. And if you aren't already, feel free to subscribe, because I plan on continuing this project until I reach chapter 44. Have a nice day, everyone. Please stay safe out there.
On the next episode of My Immortal, Ebony and Draco head for the My Chemical Romance concert, but a strange rift in time causes a weird continuity error that the narrator will have to explain so that people won't question their sanity. All this and much, much more next time on My Immortal.